going to round 8 of the Star City Standard Open here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've seen, a pretty good mix of everything. Some awesome new decks like mono green Dungrove Elder, which is actually
it's playing,
X1.
I think, for top 8.
Yeah. So here we go. Looks like our feature match for this round is going to be Jeremiah Renda playing well, let's see, Fauna Shaman, Blue Manji.
Yay, Blue Manji!
Actual Blue Manji, I think.
Okay.
With Inferno Titan and Spark Mage.
He's got Trinket Mage in order to fetch up Basilisk Collar, and red for Cunning Spark Mage, and
Inferno Titan.
So what do you want to call this? Spark Manji?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Spoo Manji? I don't know. That seems a little bad, though.
Okay, he's playing against Jonathan Sukenik, who is playing Darkblade.
Is it Darkblade? Wow.
There's only one sword of war. One sword. It's
3 Inquisition of Kozilek.
This is Dark Call, maybe.
Yeah, Dark
No,
Claw.
there's not so much of the blade anymore, but
I think actually it is Dark Claw.
yeah, there is one Abyssal Persecutor spelled out in caps.
Well, I mean, it's a very, very big guy.
Well, you should see the deck name. I don't know if you can
raise
read
it up
that,
a little bit. There we
but
go.
it is Edgar Flores Blade is going down.
Flores Blade going down. Ooh. I have to say, 2 gravitational shifts there.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got a Metamorph, a Sphinx.
He still has the Go for the Throats. Now, the thing I don't mind about the Go for the Throats in here is that he is playing Abyssal Persecutor.
Yes.
And if you're playing Abyssal Persecutor, Go for the Throats value goes way up.
I would agree with that. And it looks like we have standings. Undefeated, we have Maximilian Stoucher, Alexander John, Eric Ciesnik. I know at least one of the undefeateds is
wow.
playing.
Kyler Fields, the guy that is the mono green deck, X and 1 currently.
Yeah, let's see. X1s, we have Eli Cassis with Callblade. Let's see, who else do I recognize here? Chris Cronenberger with Fauna Twin Pod. Ben Friedman with Callblade. Alex Bertoncini, Callblade. Kurt Spiess, I don't know if we've caught up and see what he's playing. Dan Musser, Twin Pod. John Sukenik, we just described his Darkblade deck.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of people at X1.
Absolutely.
Actually, there's 22. This is the second to last round?
It is round 8.
Yeah. And let's see where... Let's see. We have... What else does this deck have that's really interesting? Only 2 Mana Leaks is the only counterspells in the Darkblade deck. And then this sort of...
Only 4 non-creatures, 4 Preordain.
No, there's Basilisk Collar and Swords.
Did I miss? Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. Basilisk Collar, and yeah, 1 Sword of War and Peace, which is actually really bizarre because he has no way to get the Sword of War and Peace other than to natural into it or to Preordain it.
I mean, it's good with his Lotus Cobras, right? We were just talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with naturaling a Sword of War and Peace in certain situations, but I feel like that's a sideboard choice.
He's got a pretty spicy sideboard. Makes his he's got like a Trinket Mage package, where his Trinket Mage is just a Stoneforge Mystic. He's got Sylvok Lightstaff and Adventure
Grim Lavamancer.
He's got Grim Lavamancer out of the board.
Wow.
This deck's really spicy.
I mean, one of the things that I talked about with numerous people, but Larry Swayze was one of them, is the question of why only 2 colors? And there's some mana consistency issues that you get with going to 3 colors that, made it maybe not worth it. But, I mean, there is something to be said about the power of a 3rd color.
Yeah.
Because you can play Lotus Cobra, Bird of Paradise, Fauna Shaman.
Does he have birds?
He does have birds, yeah.
Yes.
And 4 Spell Skites. And you can use that as your base, and then put something on top of it that's another color.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of room for that.
Yeah, the blue decks in this format can definitely grab bag their colors.
And I think we're about to start.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, and that is round 8. Did I say round 1?
Yeah, round 1.
Oh, sorry, gotta reboot the event, guys.
It's worth noting that at this point in the match, if we count all of the variants as one archetype, we have seen 6 Birthing Pod decks and only 5 Clawblade decks so far.
Yeah, admittedly, that's what we've been featuring just because it's more interesting, but we'll have to see if that holds in.
That's a very reasonable reality check on that.
Let's see.
Are we? I think we're waiting to get our camera set up, so it'll just be a few minutes. We're probably gonna start with this one ever so slightly underway.
Yeah, just a little bit. Maybe they're just moving them to the right table or something.
Right.
Someone situated.
Yeah, and one of the things.
Also, a possible deck check.
Going back to what we were talking about before about the brainstorming of Boros. So we only played 2 games.
Yeah.
But what I have to say is, it looked real to me.
Yeah.
It looked like there was something there.
It looked like there was enough of pretty aggro, and I was missing a lot of damage that second game, and it really didn't matter.
And the first game, we weren't exactly thinking too hard. We were just kind of like, oh, la la la,
Yeah.
But the thing I think that's really interesting about that is that we just brewed that together, and the indication to me was something that was real was there, but with some honing, it could be something actually. I mean, like perhaps maybe the that 2-drop, the blood guy whose name I can't remember.
Stormblood Berserker.
Stormblood Berserker.
You had the blood part. I had the storm and the berserker.
Maybe he's not good enough, right? Or maybe he's great.
Yeah.
Maybe the there's any number of
course. Skyfisher might not be the best.
Maybe Score Fisher. Maybe Incinerate. But like, there is definitely something to Grim Lavamancer, Step Links, Goblin Guy.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Incinerate, to be fair. I like the fact that it costs 2 mana, does 3 damage. 2 mana, 3 damage is pretty close to Lightning Bolt.
Right.
A lot of the old burst spells didn't really get the same efficiency in terms of mana and damage.
Here we are, and we have Jonathan, I'm not sure how to say that. I'm going to say Sukenik
on the right, and Jeremiah Renda on the left. Jeremiah is playing the Fauna Shaman deck, and the
Sparkmanji.
And John is playing Florist Blade is going down.
He's got basically a Dark Claw deck.
Yep. Not
enough blades to be Dark Blade. I think that when you only have 1 blade, it's probably not reasonable to call it a Callblade deck. Dark Blade, if you prefer, I should say. But you get the sense with Dark Claw. We've got 6 1-drop discard. We've got Emiria Angel Squadron Hawk. And we've got black removal going along with Oblivion Ring and other very common cards that you'd see in a more typical Callblade deck. But just 1 blade. So.
Yeah. So John has a turn 1 Dark Slick Shores, that one, to Jeremiah's Raging Ravine.
Squadron Hawk.
Yep.
I'm going to be willing to bet, actually, that Jeremiah destroys Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I think he's going to destroy him. Part of the reason, he's got a Lotus Cobra Fauna Shaman package that can do a lot of damage. He has a lot of the right tools to make it really, really damaging. He has Spark Mage to go over the top.
Especially because John's relying on Emiria Angel to do damage.
Yeah. Now, Emiria Angel was really powerful against Blue Manji.
Jeremiah has that turn 2 Lotus Cobra.
Oh, that's like one of the most powerful plays.
So John does have to go for the throat, but... Let's see, yeah, go for the throat and a Creeping Tar Pits to follow up to Jeremiah's Spark Mage. Yeah, he has 4 Spark Mage. He means it. It's not these 1 Spark Mage decks, these 2 Spark Mage decks. This is 4. He wants to shoot down some birds. He wants to go and play some Duck Hunt.
He's like, he points to his Spark Mage. Spark Mage, is it pretty good? Huh? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Here it is.
It's not even Moto where you can misclick and shoot his own Spark Mage.
Have you ever done that?
I've never done that.
It's the worst.
It sounds terrible.
The worst. You're like lagging, you're like, come on. And you're like, oh, killed my own thing.
John just plays another tar pit and passes. And takes a big swig of water, it looks like.
Fetch Misty Rainforest goes and Well, we'll see which one it gets. It can get both.
Yeah.
Island. You know, you could actually call it Grumanji.
Oh.
Grumanji.
Oh.
I think isn't terrible.
Capitalized GRU,
Yep.
obviously.
Yep. 4th mana. Are we going to see a Vengevine?
I see a Preordained in hand. That was off of Misty Rainforest for the record.
I think I saw a...
There's a Spellskite for
Metamorph,
Jeremiah.
I think, but I don't know if it's actually what I saw.
He decides to tap his blue mana. Oh, 2
Double
Spellskites.
Spellskites. Wow. What is he... I mean, for me, I would be happy with one, and then have the other one as potential Fauna Shaman bait later in the game. I mean, I guess that
Maybe
Cutting
he
Spark
just
Mage is
doesn't
going to live. That's gonna
Harpic
be
gets in
appeal.
there for 3.
Take
and,
3.
Jonathan gets on the beatdown plan with his all-land board. To be fair, Jeremiah's not really extending too much of a, his 3 0 power guys.
Right.
Glenn Jones has officially named John's deck Night Shift.
Well...
For the gravitational shift, but...
Night Shift.
I also like Florist Blade is going down. Can we get that one in caps on the website?
That's pretty unwieldy, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we got Raging Ravine going to town.
This is the Battle of Manlands. No tectonic edges on either side. And Consecrated Sphinx shows up and goes to town, presumably. Because I don't see... There is... He has to have Basilisk Collar right now, otherwise this Consecrated Sphinx is going to win the game.
I think that...
Yeah.
Blaze a land.
This Ravine attack actually puts him to 10. That might be range of killing him, but... I guess John...
Here it comes.
No Tectonic Edges, so he only has 1 more out in his deck to killing the Raging Ravine. Doesn't have that much to block with, and he'd have to kill the Spark Mage.
And he has
see.
2 Spellskites to kill first.
That's true. This might get interesting. Actually, this might be one of the
This
times...
actually might be interesting.
This might be interesting for a game where someone is going to untap with Consecrated Sphinx. Yeah, that's usually just a death sentence. Oh, he's gonna preordain right into that Consecrated Sphinx.
boy.
Oh boy. Choosing to keep one. Oh, there's a Gideon Jura, so...
Gideon Jura. Ouch.
John Sukenik with approximately all of his cards in his hand.
Right. In with the Sphinx, and I am predicting a Gideon coming down.
Looks like a Gideon with Mana Leak mana up probably, because he does have a Marsh Flats in hand.
Gideon is just, such a monster.
So he has to discard several cards here, probably.
It's got to be rough.
Presuming the 1 Spark Mage damage is going to Gideon, and then it's going
to the dome, to the dome.
to be... Yeah, but then the Ravine attack kills Gideon next turn.
Well, I mean, I know you're making sense, but I just want to burn the face.
This deck doesn't have a lot of burn.
Let's see where it goes, though. We still haven't seen. I still see 8 counters on it. End of the turn, he's looking at...
I think that was to the
I just
actual
realized.
face.
Go for the throat. cannot target the Spellskites.
They cannot be misdirected. That's a reason to have it. You can go for the throat of Hero Blade Hold when they have a Spellskite in play, and it dies.
Yeah, you can go for the Throat Deceiver Exarch if they have a Spellskite in play.
It really does. Yeah, that's... Sure, that is one reason to not run Doomblade, but...
It's a pretty minor reason.
I think that Tempered Steel's maybe not after this weekend, but I thought Tempered Steel was more of a threat.
I mean, to be fair, Tempered Steel just loses to triple Haze Frog, so... Jeremiah looking for a way out of this mess.
I guess I did go to the Gideon. There we go. Let's see. Well, the Ravine's lethal on the Gideon right now, but it's possible that John has just drawn into another one by now. It's possible that he's drawn into anything else by now. It's possible he's drawn into this Sword of War and piece that he has in his deck.
Oh. It's funny, they both have Singleton Sword of War and pieces that they can't search up. Jeremiah in the tank, looking for some sort of plan. You know, he can activate that Raging Ravine, but I know he's thinking about, will a go for the throat just ruin my day?
I mean, I think you're just dead to go for the throat regardless, so...
So just go for it?
Yeah, go for the kill. Or maybe go for the throat is the phrase you're looking for?
Yep. Still thinking. I mean, his options are pretty narrow. Like,
yeah.
Here it comes.
Ravine up to 6 at that Gideon.
Roar, everybody comes.
Why did that
he
Spark
attack?
Mage?
Oh, he's like, poke you. No, poke you. Poke it. Yeah, poke. I'm poking. You sure? I think you said you were attacking with it.
Yeah, this... We'll see what happens here. We could be getting a judge ruling. I see a mystical hand wave by an outside figure, but I don't know what that means.
Nothing to see here. How big is that ravine? Is that a 6?
Yes.
I think that means that the Spark Mage attacked.
Yep. And if the game was already not already locked up, it probably is now after the next forced attack on Gideon.
Oh, and we pack it up.
Gideon, Sphinx, Tar Pit all crash in for lethal.
Yeah, and
so about that being destroyed thing.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, let's pretend that you got. Let's pretend you got a 80% matchup. Let's pretend, for the sake of argument, that you do, right? You still lose 20% of the time.
Right.
And now, obviously, that's just me making up a number. It could be far closer to 50-50 or 40-60. I don't know.
We'll see. So let's look at some sideboards here. So I don't think Silbuck Lifestaff is getting in here. I can see Adventuring Gear maybe making the cut.
I think Acidic Slime, Inferno Titan, both come in. I think that...
Mana Leak.
Mana Leak is a maybe to me.
You have to answer Gideon and the high drops that John is represented having.
He does not have any other way to deal with it, so the answer probably does have to be Mana Leak.
Yeah. I don't know what he takes out though.
I mean, this kind of matchup, let's see.
There's only one Trinket Mage? Okay, you don't want Adventuring Gear. Ignore what I said.
Yeah, the Adventuring Gear is not exciting. I think you take out 4 Spellskites. You maybe take out 3 Spellskites.
I'd be okay with that. The go for the throat's really represented that. His removal speed is not going to be stopped by a Spellskite.
I mean, you definitely want Acidic Slime. I think Inferno Titan isn't necessary as a way to go, so...
He already has one in the main.
Okay, then I think you can just go Acidic Slime, 3 Mana Leaks. That's your 4 cards.
Okay, and then John has Maybe Ratchet Bomb, but I doubt it. Probably Disfigure.
Yeah, definitely Disfigure. That's actually going to
Decent
be
family
huge.
for sure.
Yeah,
A Day of Judgment.
I like all of those choices.
Maybe some Flash Freeze.
Flash Freeze is more difficult.
Yeah.
Because things can be over with the cards that you want to counter before it gets to that point. It might be better than Mana Leak, though, actually. Because you can drop the 2 Mana Leaks, you can drop the Sword of War and Peace, you can drop Duress.
Yep, that's 4 cards, and we're currently looking at bringing in 5 to 8. It's possible the Abyssal Persecutor isn't that great against the deck with Spellskite.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Yeah. So maybe board up first. You know, I'm really not sure. I think that Jace Balerion might be that great. Would you agree with that?
I don't like Jace Balerion in this matchup for the most part.
So Jace Balerion for sure, 2 Mana Leaks for sure, a Sword of War and Peace for sure, and a Duress. That's 5. Disfigures, Sword, Day, maybe Flash Freeze for something else. We'll see what happens here. I think you want Despise, and I think you want Inquisition. Just ways to deal with a Fauna Shaman or Lotus Cobra before it hits. So it looks like everyone's shuffling up for game 2. Let's see. So Jeremiah is going to be on the play here. Still shuffling.
Shuffle.
Yeah.
One of the things that I know that many of my non-Magic playing friends kind of find hypnotic is Magic players shuffling. Because of just like, and also Magic players moving their hand around after they've gotten their hand. It's like the snap, 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 snap of going through a hand. Because if you like watch a lot of people play Magic, we get kind of blind to how much shuffling happens in the way that our hands kind of like are just like always moving and doing various different things. But for other people, it's kind of mystifying, I think, for a lot of them.
You should probably watch, speaking of shuffling, Jeremiah should probably watch shuffling his opponent's cards towards himself there. Let's see. Jeremiah goes down to 6. And John is going to keep here.
And that's a big water bottle. It's bigger than him.
I think that's one of those like 2 liters of palm juice.
Right?
Converted to a water bottle. See. The only one Day of Judgment kind of surprises me. This deck, the black deck doesn't seem like it has enough gas against Tempered Steel, but maybe I just overrate Tempered Steel still.
I mean, I think Tempered Steel. Well, I think Tempered Steel is a very good deck. The question is, there's that question of the jungle, which is to say, not necessarily the best deck, but the decks that are just under the best deck. Do they happen to nibble on your deck? Because if you happen to stumble, and then you're in the jungle for whatever your deck is, you just get pushed all the way down.
Right.
And as you fight your way back up, you have that layer that's just keeps pushing you back down.
Right. I can agree with that. So Jeremiah has a turn 1 Birds. To John's turn 1 Creeping Tar Pits.
Now the God opening here for Jeremiah, he does not have it with the preordained. Would have been to cast Lotus Cobra and then do something else with it.
Probably.
And almost anything.
Jeremiah ships both, it looks like. Did he draw off that yet?
I don't think he drew off of that.
I can't count.
I don't think that he did. 1, 2. Well, we can count now.
I don't know. Go check if they drew off that. I don't know if he actually drew off that preordain. He may have just shipped both. Yeah, that looks like 4 cards. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. No, that's right. I think it is. If you mold the 6, that's the right number of cards.
Oh, okay.
He might have drawn the mountain off of it. Yeah, there we go. I think they're checking if he actually did draw off the preordain. Okay, he did draw. Yeah, there we go. That's a basilisk collar off the top for Jeremiah. So Jeremiah's going to have... Let's see, John has 2 manlands, Colonnade and Tar Pit, to Jeremiah's birds, but Jeremiah doesn't really have a threat in hand. He's just got a Mana Leak and a basilisk collar.
And neither of the... You don't want to be so reactive like that. You want to be doing something. And says go. This is rough beats unless Jeremiah gets something going before Jonathan just tears this game apart.
Right. That's the start of it with a preordain. Setting up anything you could ever want. Oblivion Ring and looks like a go for the throat. Yep. 2 removal spells on top. Probably debating whether he wants to dig for more land. Decides to ship them. Another Tar Pit comes in. And John looks like he's trying to pass, but disfigures the birds. Oh. Knowing about the Mana Leak. Oh, Mana Leak's gone. What's the last card then?
I could not tell you.
Okay. Oh, Mana
Leak.
Okay, I was right. I thought he had a Mana Leak.
Did you see Jonathan gave a darn hand motion? Land. Why show him? Why show him?
Too many discard.
The second collar is not a big deal though.
Oh, the land?
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about the basilisk collar.
Yeah, either of them, honestly.
Keep the land to put you to 6 if you got Lotus Cobra Titan off the top or something.
Okay, 1 card on top, 1 on bottom. Jonathan draws.
I think that's the Persecutor you just drew, but I can't really tell from here. More manlands, 3 Tar Pits, and a Colonnade.
And he kills the bird. I don't know why.
Threatening 5 drops like Acidic Slime. His mana's a little weak.
That's not a big deal.
Acidic Slime? Yeah, John's mana is a little awkward right now, so he could possibly just get a Slimed out of the game. Tar Pit in for 3. Some light beatdown.
Unless Jonathan has an abundance of removal in his hand, I don't like that play. Draws. Thinks.
Jeremiah sitting there with... Oh, there's a Fauna Shaman. Something that can definitely get him back into this game.
And looks like he's gonna
crack his
fetch
Scalding Tarn
and equip.
Yep, probably getting an island here. John has a Day of Judgment in hand, so I don't know if that...
Yeah, he doesn't have a second white, so maybe he wants to make sure that the slime doesn't knock him off of double white, or the possibility of double white. 1, 2.
Go for the throats.
Dead. Into the Royal in hand. Or is that Into the Royal? That's a Day of Judgment.
Yeah, that's the
bad.
Day of Judgment we're talking about. Jeremiah down to... I think he's probably at 13
I think he's at 13 as well. Oh, don't show it. Leave it in your hand. Make him despise it. Make him Inquisition.
Second white source. And Colonnade's going to get in there for 4. 9 life.
Leaves him with 2 mana open. Lotus Cobra. Woo! Equip.
Fight. John's probably debating over what the right line against that Lotus Cobra is. Probably just serve with the Colonnade again.
And there it is. And with the Colonnade. Now, unfortunately, these days, double collar does not mean double life gain.
Does not. That was M10 change?
I forget, but I think it was M10.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have anything else to do with that mana, it's not terrible to put the extra collar on the Cobra after combat, just so that it's like, if one of them's destroyed, he's still equipped.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, may as well not throw away mana.
Yeah, we're basically talking about incredibly not very great lines, but I mean, when your lines are terrible, you do what you gotta. Ooh, sacrificing a fetch land would indicate he might have a spell that's good. Correct?
Might have a spell that's good. It's a funny way to put it.
He might have one right here. Show us something good to eat, Jeremiah.
Does he have a Raging Ravine down there in that tile? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't remember him casting one this game. What's in the lap?
A quick check with the camera shows there's nothing else in the lap, so it's okay. I'm not trying to get all middle school here, but you know, what do we got?
That looks like a Spark Mage, I think.
A Spark Mage would be awesome.
That.
I mean, it's a red guy. I can't tell.
Is that red?
Looks like he spent 3 mana on it, and there's the equip.
No, it's only 2. Wait.
Yeah, because he had the 1 mana from the.
Oh yeah. I think that's a Collared Spark Mage.
I think that's a Collared Spark Mage as well. And now, obviously, a white source would ruin Jeremiah's day.
He has the white source.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're right. He's been activating the Colonnade this whole time.
Good use of the word day in that sentence. There.
Yeah, yep. Well, we get to game 1. There we go.
That
he remembers to do
Mage.
it this time.
2 at a time, players. Coins are now up.
Lose the 2 cards that are relevant, not the Basilisk color. And that's
attack for 3.
Jeremiah goes to.
So now he needs a Vengevine to be in this game. He needs to draw a Vengevine right now.
Yes. And that is match. The demolishing matchup flipped around, and Jonathan Sukenik has some good draws there to beat the Fauna Shaman.
Well, and we don't know if it would be in Jeremiah's favor for sure, but I mean, a lot of my instincts say it would probably have a pretty good chance of being in that way.
He didn't have an early Fauna Shaman, to be fair.
Well, I'm just talking. His draws didn't really pan out. He had Turbo Nothing, partly inspired by Inquisition helping out a little bit.
Yeah. To be fair, Inquisition did only take a mana leak, but
still, that's kind of a Turbo Nothing, right?
Yep. And welcome back. In case you just joined us, I'm Arielax here with Adrian Sullivan at Star City Games Open Series in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Right.
We just watched Jonathan Sukenik with Dark Claw or Night Shift, or I'm not actually sure what is going up on the site, but like Blue, White, Black, Squadron Hawks. Defeat.
Night Shift isn't terrible. It's kind of catchy.
Defeat Jeremiah Renda with Spark Manji.
Yep. Spark Manji, Gru Manji. There's all kinds of possibilities there.
And that was round 8 of 9. We're going to be going into one more round of Swiss today, and then proceeding to the first round of the top 8.
That's right. Now, what I've been kind of doing as I've been doing this coverage is I've been looking at Kyler Fields, who was playing the very heavily homebrewed mid-range green deck.
Yeah.
That I think is probably misbuilt.
Sure.
But regardless, that kernel of truth that might be in the deck is something I'm excited about. It's possible, like right now, Kyler Fields, he's X and 1 who shares his company? The big people that I was gonna say would be Eli Cassis, Chris Cronenberger, Alex
Star City
Bertoncini.
Games Player Club level 8 players.
That's
Alex
right.
Bertoncini, Jerry Thompson.
Yep.
And
Edgar Flores. I think Kurt Spies or Spies, I don't know how to say his last name. I think he's worth mentioning in that, not obviously in the same breath as the 3 other guys.
Not obviously in the same mention of level 8s, yeah.
Right. But
it's a pretty stacked field there at X1, and Dungrove Elder might get there today.
And you know, like every time that I hear a report back from a runner and from other people, it's like, yeah, he just attacked with a 30-30 Omnath and had Batterskull on it, so he won.
Oh, but no, it was against. But even better, it was against Boros.
Right.
And even better, there was also a Primeval Titan that was also Batterskull attacking. This is the most fair I've ever seen a Primeval Titan.
You're
You know what
right.
it's doing? It is fetching basic forest.
It doesn't even want to mess around with anything else.
It's got Verdict Catacombs and basic forest to fetch.
Oh man, like I remember when the Titans were first printed, I was kind of like, oh, Primeval Titan's going to be the best because it gets the card advantages, and Brian Cole was like, no, Frost Titan will be the best. But like the thing is Brian Cole's first deck then that he built when M11 was that when M11 came out was Frost Titan, Primeval Titan, and what did his Primevals do? They just captured Colony Heart Gardens and Holomar Depths.